Welcome back to another episode of Opinionated Double Knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. The crew is back. The boys are buzzing. The boys are back in town.
It's been too long, dude.
It's been too long. How the hell you been, Bert? Where the hell you been? The fans want to know. The fans are tired of it. The fans are tired of both of us. They want us off. We have to make it up to them somehow.
We will. Which is why we went to peak COVID format and busted out the webcams and went with this so we could be more efficient for y'all. Because with my work schedule, Carlos's work schedule, figuring out all the logistics to meet up and film and dump SD cards and edit and all that. It was
a hassle. It's a lot, man. For y'all that don't know, it's just traveling everywhere, going from place to place, carrying your camera, dumping footage. Like it's a lot, man. And then it gets timing. I know. Last night we shot a podcast for our main channel, Opinionated Media, and we didn't leave till what 11 p.m.
11, and then I didn't get home till almost midnight.
Yeah.
I work at. I gotta get up.
Nobody cares about all that, bro. Nobody wants to hear your sob story. Okay, no one's gonna give you sympathy. You're a grown man.
I'm not asking for sympathy.
Yeah, handle it. Anyway, the duo's back. We're back, better than ever. Here to cover UFC 297.
And for those of you who are new, we want to get you into. Maybe you're just getting into UFC. We want you to be a part of it. We want to make this easy for you to digest and be able to get into the sport. And I think that even though how long the UFC has been around, it's not necessarily in its infant stages, but it is growing.
It's a crawling baby, you know. It's only been 20 years 30 years was 2 years ago.
Yep.
So it hasn't been very long, and then but it's growing a lot. It's going fast, and it's probably the fastest growing sport, I would say. I mean, they're fighting. I remember I was talking to Bert, and I was like, bro, I went back the other night, and I've been watching UFC since I'm 27 years old. So I was born in '96. I've been watching UFC since UFC I think it was 76 or 67. I just went back and looked at the cards, because the earliest one I can remember without looking at, I was I know for sure I watched UFC 100. I know for sure I watched that one, and then I was like, let me go back and see what was the earliest I can remember. That was 76 or 67. Well, it was one of those. I can't remember which one, but it's been a while. We were young watching that.
5th grade.
We were young watching that. Yeah, it's when
friends, uncles buying pay-per-views. We're all just sitting around.
Yep, and they had just the people would bring out the banner over the cage and let it hang because you had all your sponsors on there, and then you had all your sponsors on your shorts. And I remember I wanted to there was Venom, and what was the other brand? Do you remember?
Tap
Out, yes. I always wanted to buy a Tap Out shirt, even though, I mean, in my opinion, they're kind of whack. But at the time, I was like, damn, I want one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that was back in the day, man. The good old times. But we're in today's age where there's a card, seems like every week now, instead of every 4 months or so, whatever it was. I know for a lot of you fight fans, it's exciting because you get to watch, I would say for people who watch UFC, it's probably their favorite sport, so they look forward to watching it.
For sure.
But for the fight fans, it's exciting because you get to watch one every single weekend. And then you have your newcomers. Like I said, it's probably the fastest growing sport. So you have your newcomers coming in, and they're like, there's a fight every single weekend. I don't know if I can, A, buy that, or B, just be able to have time to keep up with all that. Because they typically are late unless they're in, Abu Dhabi. but they typically are late. I mean, 9 o'clock isn't late, but like if you have kids or whatnot, or if you have to get up early the next, well, the good old
You
things.
got
It's
plans on the weekends,
yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
expects you to
Or if you're
watch.
out, with friends, going out, hanging out, and whatnot. So, I know it's a lot, but we're here to do the job of to cover all the stuff you missed and to keep it short and simple for the Newt Fight fans that aren't quite ready for like those MMA junkies, the Era Hawanis, the Sure Dogs, and all that stuff. So that's why we have the expert Bert here, so he can tell you everything he knows about MMA.
I don't
Because
know if
clearly it's
I'm an
not a lot.
expert.
Y'all might have seen him on TikTok recently, but
Uh,
he was getting flamed up a little bit.
I'm not an expert. I just enjoy watching um, mixed martial arts. I
You,
just voice my opinion,
you
and
did.
whether you like it or not,
Welcome to Opinionated.
welcome to Opinionated.
Damn it.
Don't watch my shit if you don't like my opinion.
Or get in the ring with him and then beat his
Uh,
ass for me. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, this card's UFC 297 Saturday, January 20th, 9 p.m. in Toronto, Canada.
9 p.m.
Uh,
Central Time because
9
we're in
p.m.
Texas.
Yeah, we're in Texas, which is the best. Central Time's the best time zone. That's neither here or there, but Central Time's the best time zone. But I thought this was interesting, given that Sean Strickland is a champion, and I just figured he would want to, defend his belt on his home turf, given the way his brain is wired. He's on the
Some of
red
the
side.
people.
He's very vocal about it. So I figured he want to be on his home
But
turf
look,
for his
from
first
that
title defense.
from that press conference, it seemed like the Canadians love him, dude. He had some love shown to him.
I have mixed feelings about Sean Strickland. That's just me. I don't agree with some of the stuff he says. I agree with some of the stuff he says, but he's just, I don't know. I
Look,
have mixed
I
feelings
have
about
no
him.
political affiliation with anybody. I think you're entitled to your opinion.
You're for sure entitled to your own opinion.
How it is delivered is questionable. I think there
Liquid
are.
Death. If you want to sponsor Liquid Death, we'll gladly take it. Okay.
I think there are ways to express your opinion without being an ass. Um, but not everybody's going to agree with you, and not everybody has to agree with you. So I think he's just.
I don't think it's the political things that it's more of the like, how are you able to talk shit and say all these derogatory things to like other people, but as
But you
soon as
can't take it.
someone, but as soon
Yeah,
as someone brings up your childhood, which I understand and I feel for you, you like you can't say that. You can't bring that up. I'll stab you. I'll kill you. Like, bro, you're sitting here talking about somebody's wife. You're sitting here talking about somebody and his trainer, like saying things that
I
are
agree. Look,
traumatizing. But you got to expect that people are gonna say these things regarding your childhood if you're going to the extent of talking about their wife, you know,
it's
or
fair game at that point. You
talking
start bringing
about
in.
having sexual relations with your trainer, being man and man, you know. So
Hey, look,
like,
it's the fight game. Things are going to be said. Hands are going to be thrown outside of the cage. You should know what to expect as a fighter.
yeah, I that's the only knock I would have. Like, I get it,
It's
I understand it. I apologize, and I am if I offend you, and I am sorry that you went through that. I just don't think it's okay how you can voice your opinion and how you feel, but as soon as somebody brings up your childhood, that's not okay because you're already crossing lines.
Yeah.
But as soon as they cross the line, that's it. I don't know. That's just how I feel.
But going back to the main
Sorry, I went on a little
reason
tangent there.
we're going to be covering UFC 297. We're going to keep the same format that we were doing before, starting from the bottom, going to the top. Did you want me to kick this off or you?
We'll let you kick it off. Shall we show them a little something real quick?
All right, let's show them.
Bam.
Hey, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So starting with the first fight of the night, we got Arnold Allen and Movsar Evloev fighting, which is going to be a pretty good fight. You know, them Russian boys got them that aggressive fight style, which is going to be nice. Arnold Allen is 19-2 professionally, 10-2 in the UFC. So I mean,
he was on a roll. Sorry to cut you off, but he was on a roll before. Then he just fought Max Holloway.
Yep.
And then he lost. And then this is a bounce back fight, and then unfortunately, it's fighting someone that is undefeated. That is a dog as well. So
for sure. Now, as far as getting into this, statistically, Arnold Allen has gotten 4 out of his 11 UFC fights by a finish. The rest have been decision. And honestly, I would only count that as 3. Because when he fought Calvin Kattar tried to throw a kick and landed wrong, tweaked his knee. I think he blew out his knee or something like that. But we can pull that later on. Or just look up Arnold Allen versus Calvin Kattar. And, I mean, his knee snapped, second round starts, throws a leg kick. Calvin Kattar goes down.
I don't think it'll show. It just show, like, play-by-play. And then
Gotcha.
I don't know how much video from the UFC we can show on here because we did a little some one time and it got copyrighted like that, and it was just a test. So I was like, okay, all right. But
so 4 out of those 11
knee injury, you see it right there.
Yeah. So I mean, and it was the way he landed. It sucked. It's disappointing to lose a fight like that. But either way, I mean, he TKO'd Dan Hooker. He's got a decent left hand. He's overall a pretty good fighter. He's got a decent takedown defense. He's a decent striker. Overall, he's well-rounded. But Evloev, you know them Russian boys just go all out, leave it all in these men are fight. These Russian men are fighting till the death. That's how they fight.
So if there is some new UFC folks on here, I'm probably gonna have up Sherdog a lot for y'all because it's very in depth on like what happens or like all their last fights. You can see how long they've been fighting. You can see how many knockouts they've had, submissions, decisions, and all that good stuff. Tells you like when their last fight was, how long it went. It's just very informative to look at. So I'm probably gonna have this for every fighter, so y'all can look at and see like exactly what we're talking about. But yes, he is fighting these crazy Russians. This one's not quite from Dagestan, but it's in the same realm.
Something's in that Dagestan water.
Something's in that Dagestan water. The Stan waters in general. Every fighter with the thing Stan, it's they're him. What's his name? The dude from like Uzbekistan.
Rachmanov?
No, who just fought? Oh my god, I can't remember his name. The one who just fought not too long ago. He's crazy too. Why I can't remember his name? This is gonna annoy me. Shavkat.
Was it Rachmanov?
Yes. Is that what you said? I couldn't really understand you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's from like Uzbekistan or something like that. Does it say? That dude is a savage.
He's gonna. I feel like he wins the strap this year. I do.
You reckon?
I reckon.
All right. Hey, we're gonna keep that and let's see what happens. All right.
I think he gets it this year. By the end of the year, it's his.
We'll see. He has a tough division there. You know. I mean, Leon's been on a tear lately. We're going off tangent, but Leon's been on a tear lately. He's probably one of the best strikers in that division, if not the best. His last fight against Colby Covington, which wasn't deserved by Colby Covington, in my opinion, was kind of a easy fight for him. Wasn't really anything. I thought he should have fought Belal Muhammad before he fought Colby Covington. I thought Colby Covington should have got like a ready fight, I guess you could say. But I don't know. But yeah, he's in a hard division. I mean, it's not an easy division. So we'll see. He got some dogs to go up against, and he's been beating them dogs. So
man, dude
Yeah.
is something else.
Anyways, back on Mazar. 17-0. I mean, he's fine out of Russia. I mean, this back in the day used to be the Brazilians who were nasty, but now it seems like it's them Russian dudes, with the exception of Peter Yan, because that boy weak. I don't know what the hell happened to him. But 17-0. I mean, he's just been on a tear, as you can see.
7-0 in the UFC.
Seven. Yeah, I was gonna say 7-0 in the UFC. He is favored this fight. I want to show you all that as well. We might have a little short video coming tomorrow. Be on the lookout. Yeah, tomorrow, because this will be get posted tonight. But where is it at? Yep, the odds. He is favored. But I want to show you all that. But I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's gonna be more technical than anything. I don't think either one's gonna really do too much or do too little. I think it's gonna be one of those fights where it's not necessarily boring, but there's not a lot of action, so to say. Does that make sense?
For sure. I wouldn't say necessarily technical on both sides. Arnold Allen he is technical and pretty patient with his fighting style. Evloev likes to push forward. He's kind of more not reckless. He's a little bit more wild.
And that's what I mean by technical. Like, it's gonna be like they're not gonna go out there and like just go blow for blow for blow. Like, all their stuff's gonna be strategized and correct strikes to an extent.
For sure. But Evloev doesn't have that knockout power. He's throwing some nasty right hands, and he can't finish it.
He can't finish it. And you think he would? By the way, that boy swole.
For real. But he just doesn't have that knockout power. He is good at what he is really good at is if he gets you on the ground, he's good.
He's gonna keep you on the ground. Yes, he has very good ground game. He won't submit you. He can submit you, but he won't. Excuse me. He's just gonna stay on top of you and just score those points. Eat that time up.
And honestly, that all his wins in the UFC have been by decision. So
yeah.
I mean, if it goes to the judges, I probably have Evloev winning, but I feel like Arnold Allen is going to TKO him. I really do.
We're going to show a little other stats here. So here's how they win by. Arnold Allen is the upper hand on the knockout. Submission, it's kind of even. You have a little bit of an edge by Mavzar. And then decision, I mean, these boys just like to go to the judges. You know, as Dana says, don't leave it to the judges. But you can see here, like, their average fight time. Like, that's so long. That's why I said it's not going to be a crazy fight. It's not going to be something that's like they're going to be aggressive. They're gonna fill each other out. It's going to be very technical. And it's going to be slower, but you're still going to have like your pops here and there. It's like I said, it's not going to necessarily be a boring fight, but it's not going to be like an entertaining fight.
For sure, that's fair. That's a fair statement. Who you got winning this one?
I mean, the Russian boys are different, man. I can't. They keep proving everybody wrong, so I got to stay with them Russians, man. I got Mosvar, probably decision.
Decision? Okay, cool. So it goes the distance. I got Arnold Allen winning by TKO. You got him by decision. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
You know, hear that ding on my little, you know, I got it right. Next bout, middleweight bout, Chris Curtis. This guy got a fire tattoo. Marc-Andre Barriault.
Barriault, yeah.
The tell of the tape.
Yeah.
Here's the tell of the tape.
This is actually an interesting fight. I mean, because Chris Curtis, for those of you who don't know, is a journeyman. Like this man has been fighting in all organizations. Like he's 30-10 professionally. Like that's a lot of fights. That's a lot of punches to take. He's 6-2 in the UFC with one no contest by accidental head clash. So I mean, overall, like, he's just a dog, man. Like, he's down to scrap. And that's why I think Chris Curtis is such a fun fighter to watch. Like, he's just down to scrap. Like, and he's a really solid boxer. Like, he's pretty clean with the hands.
His nickname is the Action Man.
So, yeah. So I mean, it should be the journeyman, but
Hey, let my dog right. Making a living out here, you know what I'm saying? Boy
Hey,
got laid off from one organization, gotta go another. Just like a job. The boy got
but
laid off, he found better opportunity. Hey, come on, man. Don't
but
hey.
nah, as far as Chris Curtis fight style, he's a clean boxer. He's got some good power. He's got great head movement. Um, but Mark Andre, man, he's kind of like, I would say, a little. He just likes to push forward, dude. Like he likes to push forward, put the pressure on. Um, he's kind of. I feel like he's got this one. Um,
He does like to push forward. Sometimes I feel like that hurts him a little bit because there are some fights where it went to decision where I felt like he was a little patient.
for sure.
He could have won it. But I do think he got this one as well. I mean, he's in his hometown. I mean,
Yeah, man.
like I said, Chris Curtis is a journeyman. I mean, great fighter, but he's someone that just like he's just a who wants to fight and just be out there. Like that's like a fill-in fighter, as I would like to say.
I mean,
That,
if he catches him with the right hand, like
for
Mark
sure,
Andre
he can.
yeah,
He can knock you out. Don't get me wrong, he can knock you out. But it'll just be hard being in your hometown, being in your backyard. Like there's nothing like it. Fans are behind you. I mean, we see it all over the world when there's people from your hometown or your home country, like they just back you like no other. So I think he's gonna be feeling that a little bit. And then
it's different when the crowd's on your side.
it is different when the crowd's on your side. The biggest thing for me is just the reach. I think his reach is a little bit longer. I think he'll be able to keep him at a distance because he does like to walk people down. So I just think his reach will probably is where the fight is more than likely gonna like be the difference maker is the reach.
For sure. I got this one going to the decision, and I got Marc Andre winning by decision.
I actually have him, Marc Andre, knockout.
Okay.
I'm gonna go about third round knockout.
Okay.
And that's about average. Look at that. Third round. That's about average. So I'm gonna go third round knockout.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the next one. Neil Magny, who's definitely a veteran as well, and Mike Malott, who's an up and coming prospect, and he's fighting in his hometown too. So I feel like this fight was put together strategically by the UFC because Neil Magny's not necessarily a dangerous veteran, but he is, he's a good fighter. So this can definitely show what Mike Malott's made of as an up and coming prospect. I feel like, but if you look at Neil Magny's last two wins, I mean, he didn't look that good. He won, but he didn't look that good. And so I feel like
in his last 5 fights, he's 2-3. I think. I don't know if it shows on here. I'll bring it up on Sherdog in a minute. But I think on his last 5 fights, it's like 2-3. Granted, he's lost to some dogs, but that also just shows you like where he's at in the division, and he's also getting up there in age. I think he's like 36 or something like that.
Yeah. But I mean, the only reason I feel like he won his last 2 fights was really just the experience shined through. And in those tough moments, experience plays a huge part.
Yeah.
And then just instinct,
Yeah.
But Mike Malone, he's won his last 4 fights.
He's undefeated technically in the UFC. He's 3-0 in the UFC, and he's 4-0 with the UFC. The reason I say with the UFC is because this is a guy from looking for a fight, right? Dana White's Contender Series. Yes. He got signed from that, right?
I believe so.
So yeah, he won a fight in that, and then they put him on a card, and he's like 3-0 in the UFC, but he's like 4-0 with the UFC. That's why I say with it, because
For sure.
I don't know. I don't know if that's like technically counted as a UFC event or not, but he won.
Yeah. Um, and I mean, the last 3 fights,
Let me pull them up real
he's
quick.
won by
I'm sure, dog.
or the last 4 fights, excuse me, he's won by submission and TKO. 3 subs, 1 TKO. Um, I mean, he's pretty good on the ground.
So here we are. Mike Mallet proper 10-1. He's like, it's weird because it's like in baseball and basketball, football, like the 30s or like mid 30s are like your prime. But like I was like in mid 30s in UFC, early 30s and mid 30s, it's kind of like that's your time to get the belt. If you haven't gotten it by then, it's just
This
hang
is
it up, you know? And he's
yeah, it's gonna
32
be
and he just started in the UFC. And he's going up against someone that's a veteran who's been there a long time. And I'm pretty sure is ranked in the welterweight division at 13. We're at just the top 15, but it's not an easy division either.
for sure.
Um, but he does like to wrestle. He's a little wrestler. He'll put the moves on you on the ground. He loves to wrestle. I mean, as you see here, 6 submissions. He does have knockout power as well, and he got slept one time as well, as you see here as well. But these are his fights. Who he's beaten.
Who you got winning this one?
I'm gonna go Neil. Just because of the veteran. He's someone who can scrap as well. He's not shy of the fighting. Yeah, he didn't look great his last 2 victories, but the people he lost to were dogs. Let's see. Ian Gary.
Yeah.
We're supposed to see Ian Gary fight on UFC 286. Is that one? Then he pulled out because he had pneumonia. Gilbert Burns, ranked in the top 5, I'm pretty sure. Shavkat, who Albert just said that he's gonna get the belt this year. Like he's fought some dogs.
Yeah,
So
Shavkat, dude. Like,
yeah,
that
he's
dude.
fought some dogs
I'm telling you,
recently.
he's gonna get the belt.
So I I don't know. I just think that his the veteran in him will outshine him, even though he is fighting in his hometown. And I think just because he is so young in the UFC, under the bright lights, I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say under your first UFC card, but you've been on a UFC card before. Um, I just think he's gonna be a little too much for him. But
Okay.
I think this one will go probably the distance. But I think it's gonna be more exciting than anything.
I actually got him winning by submission, Mike
Mm.
Malott. I feel like he's gonna submit Neil. So
How?
probably rear naked, dude.
Hmm. You think he gets that back, huh?
I feel like he does, dude. I feel like he does. I feel like he gets it done by a sub.
All right.
Moving on
Submission.
to the co-main event. And this is actually for one of the belts
Yeah,
Amanda
vacant
Nunez
belt.
vacated. Yep.
That's a
So,
vacant belt. Have a little another tangent here.
all right.
Well, I guess question for you: do you think people should vacate their belts if they're still active? Like the John Jones situation, not like his current one, but like in the back where like you like he got in trouble and then he got kicked out of the UFC, so he really didn't know if he was in the UFC, so he wasn't like active. Versus like people who are like active, they're just hurt because that's the situation.
Mm, I think it really just depends. Like if it's a crazy injury, then and you're out for like what how long was Yuri out for? 6 months.
Yuri, he was supposed to be out for 2 years, but he wasn't out very long.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think interim belt should be the deal.
But the thing that was gonna be my other thing. I don't like interim belts. I don't think like people who get interim belts, like you're
Yeah, they're
not.
not the real
I don't
champ.
think you're a champion. You just have like a fake belt. And I don't think that should have been something that was ever introduced.
That's
Like,
kind of This is kind. It really just depends, dude. Like, because what do? Hold up the division? You
yeah.
know?
I mean, you're a
I mean,
top dog for a reason. Like, injuries are a part of. I mean, I don't know. I guess you kind of have to because injuries are a part of the game. So if you get injured, it's whatever. But like, I don't know. I guess it just for me, it just depends on how long you've been, or how long you're going to be out for.
yeah. That's definitely a good deciding factor.
Yeah.
But getting into it, man, Raquel Pennington is a vet, and I mean, she's very technical. She's very patient. She's not really an exciting fighter, to be honest.
No, not at all. She is a very boring fighter, and that's
she's
why Mayra said that on stage. She is a very boring fighter.
so so yeah, man. I mean, but if you look at all her losses, she's lost to all
Oh,
former champions like Holly Holmes, Jessica Andrade, Amanda Nunez, Germaine de Ramadine. Like these are all former champions that she's lost to.
yeah,
So I mean, she's got the championship or she's got the title fight experience. She's got, I mean, she's technical, dude. Like she's gone to war with these amazing women fighters that are just dogs too, man. Like
yeah.
so, she's got great cardio too. I mean,
I hope
uh,
so. All you do is stand and don't do nothing.
um, but I mean, overall, she's a very technical, patient fighter.
She's a very patient fighter. That's the. I feel like that's her problem. I feel like that's why she's someone who will never get the belt, or if she wins this one, the real belt. Just because she's too passive of a fighter. Like there's times where you need to be passive, but there's also times where like you gotta turn it up and step on the gas. And for your opponent to sit there on stage and call you a boring fighter, like that should
Yeah,
like speak volumes to you. I mean, we see it. I mean, we've seen her. Like we all know, but like for her to come out and say it, and like you're a boring fighter, no one wants to watch you fight. Like, bro, if somebody said that to me, I'm knocking you out. That's just me.
that's fair. I mean,
I don't know if I
I'd be
showed the
like, all
tail
right.
of the tape, but yeah, here's the tail of the tape. But yeah, I'm knocking you. I'm knocking you out. Like, there's nothing about it, and like she's. I don't think this like I get why you made it a co-main event is because it's for a belt, but like I don't think this is like a co-main event. She's not a co-main event fighter worthy. There's a reason like she's lost to champions, and
For sure.
I don't. It's like a Kobe Covington. We'll just use him. Like he can beat all these fighters that aren't like championship caliber fighters, but when it
Yeah,
comes to
that
those champion like people level people, you can't beat them, and that's the biggest difference maker.
for sure. And I mean, Mayra Bueno Silva, she's a mean fighter. Like
She's from Brazil, so that
she
tells
is
you all you need to know.
she wants
She wants to
blood,
strangle
dude.
you.
Yeah. Like she is going out there fight to the death style. Like one of us is leaving alive, one of us is not.
Yep.
Um and her was her last fight?
Holly Holm. It was a no
Yeah.
contest because like Holly, I forgot why, but she really submitted
She
Holly Holm in the fight,
um
and she got the win, but it was overturned.
it was overturned because she has Adderall. So or not
Yes,
Adderall. She has ADHD.
yes, and she
Um
was taking
but I don't know if she just
like
didn't get off soon enough or
yeah, like that's what it
it
was.
was that.
I
But it
mean,
wasn't for PED use.
yeah,
So I mean, I feel like I think it was, what was it? It was Ritalin. I think she was on. Um, but yeah, so I mean, her last loss was from Manon Ferro, but that was by decision. I mean, and
Yeah,
Manon
and I'm pretty
Ferro.
sure that fight was like a banger too.
So yeah,
I'm pretty sure that fight was a banger. But yeah,
but yeah, I
no,
mean,
she gonna go out there and scrap with you, and it'll be interesting to see like how it'll be for Raquel because she's gonna keep that pressure on her the whole fight, and that's what she's gonna do. And I before we like get into it, I have her winning, and I think that fight between her and Jolena Pena is gonna be really really good. But yeah, I just it'll be interesting to see how she does with just all that pressure being on her.
I mean, the odds are in favor of Silva, but I really feel like, I feel like Raquel gets this by decision because
You think so?
fight. I think so, just because fighting at a those 5 round fights experience matters, dude. Like that high level experience matters.
This is the thing that is why I think she wins right here. I don't think, and then look at that right there. Like, I don't think that she is there a right here. It's going to be good offense, a good defense, but
I
I
just
personally
think
think that she's stronger than Raquel. When somebody's stronger than you can have technique, but like
for
they have
sure,
just as much technique, so they're gonna get you down.
which is
And
actually a
she
point I was
shoots,
gonna make.
and she shoots really well. And like her shoots aren't just wild; they're timed, and she shoots really well.
That's fair. I mean, dude, like I said, she's fought some. Raquel Pennington has fought some great fighters, like, and has lost to some great fighters, I should say.
Yeah,
So I mean, yeah, Mayra Bueno Silva just beat Holly Holm, and Holly Holm's a phenomenal fighter as well. But she's 42,
yeah.
dude.
But I said
Like,
she's also old.
that's old in the fight game. And Raquel Pennington's 35. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's
30.
a huge difference. Like,
Yeah,
um, so I mean, yeah, she beat Holly Holm, but Holly Holm's also like on her way out. So it's kind of like I said, that high level experience really comes into play at this point. And at that and those championship rounds, 4 and 5, like that's when you're
yeah. This will
gassed.
be her first championship. We lost them. We lost them, ladies and gentlemen. We lost them. We got you back. Don't worry, we got you back. We're here. We're here.
I
What'd you do?
don't know what happened.
Oh, that don't matter.
But
We're back.
yeah, man, like those championship rounds matter. That experience
Yeah,
matters
it does because that and some people are built for it though. Some people do get that second gust of wind, like
for sure.
round 4, round 5. Some people get tired. Some people shy away from it. But there's just some fighters who, yes, they look gassed in round 3, but as soon as they get off the storm for round 4, like
That
it's just
second
a
win
yeah, it's
comes
just a new fighter, and that second win is is here. So I don't think it goes that far though. I think it's gonna like end in like round 2. If you want to
okay.
scroll down and look whatever you want to, you can. But I don't know what screen you're on. But yeah, I don't think it goes that far. So it'll. I think it's gonna be like a submission and probably like round 2.
Okay. It'll be interesting. It'll be definitely be interesting to see this fight.
Yeah.
But
You got
going now
you got
to the
Raquel.
main, I got Raquel by decision.
All
I feel like
right.
she's gonna do her thing. She's gonna be patient. It's gonna be a boring fight, but she is gonna maintain control, and she's gonna win the judges by showing that she's maintaining control. That's just how I see it going, especially with how many shots she's gotten at the title. Like, I'm sure she's hungry for that title. She's gonna try and play it safe. That's what I think happens.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't think she beats Juliana Pena though. So I guess it.
No,
Myra has a better chance of beating her than Raquel does.
for sure.
You better,
And
you better be happy that Amanda retired. Damn it.
facts, because nobody was getting that belt from her.
I mean, you only on opinion did, but like I said,
Yeah, but
I
she
think
didn't
that
look.
yeah, I think she did it on purpose. That's just me. I was speculating. I was telling Albert, I was like, hey, I think she just did a little on purpose. But anyways, on to the main event of the evening. Introducing first in the blue corner. We got a mixed martial artist, 20-2, that Albert was big on when he first entered the scene. He said, this man is unstoppable. This man finishes all his fights. This man just got his nose redone and now he can breathe.
Facts. That's a huge thing because he would look gassed in round 3.
Draicus Du Plessis. Give it up for your boy.
Bro, I'm rocking with South Africa. You
I'm
know?
rocking with South Africa. I'm not going to do it say what Izzy said, but that's my, you know what? You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with
I
South
mean, dude,
Africa.
professionally, out of his 20 wins, only one has been by decision. That's insane. And regardless of whether that was in the UFC or not, like you're fighting people matched up against you based on where your skill is. So I mean, dude, like winning 20 fights and only one by decision, that says something.
Yeah.
And so I mean, Draicus Du Plessis he's just strong too, dude. Like I mean, look at how he threw Robert Whitaker, man. Like, and
some
then
people like to say Robert Whitaker's washed.
okay, no, but Robert Whitaker ain't no chump. Like, he's not prime Robert Whitaker, but he's not a chump. He's not fucking Tony Ferguson washed.
Hey, let my dog rock.
Look,
He had a
Tony
good career.
yes, and he needs to hang it up. He had because UFC
Oh,
needs to cut Tony Ferguson.
my
What is it now? 7 fights in a row.
7 fights in a row he lost.
If it wasn't Tony Ferguson, he would have been long gone after the
Bro, he
third.
thought Homeboy could save his career.
Bro,
What was his name?
David
The
Goggins.
crazy, yeah, he thought David Goggins can rebirth him, bro. Leave him alone.
But I mean, Draicus likes to push forward. He's strong, dude. Like he is very strong. That could be
I
a
think a
dangerous
lot of
situation
people.
for Sean.
I think a lot of people are overlooking this fight for Draicus Du Plessis. I am actually a Draicus Du Plessis fan, and I think he's a very phenomenal fighter. And I think he should have got should be the champion, in my opinion. I thought even when Izzy was in, he would beat Izzy. That's just me. We all thought that fight was going to happen after that
Yeah, which was kind of a
post-fight
shocking
interview, but it didn't. But I thought he would beat Izzy. And this is a fighter that's very how would you? He's very aggressive defensive. if that's how you say it. Like he will be aggressive, but like as soon as the other person starts being aggressive, he'll be defensive. And not that he gets like passive, but like I feel like a lot of his stuff is just like calculated on like how he fights. I mean, you see it here. I mean, stoppage, stop,
yeah, bro.
decision, stoppage. Even when he lost, stoppage, stop. Like, bro, he knows what he's doing, and he is a very well-rounded fighter.
He's a well-rounded fighter. I will say Sean Strickland's takedown defense is getting a bit overlooked as well. But when Draicus Du Plessis is just freakishly strong for his division. Like I said, he threw Robert Whitaker, and I know Robert Whitaker's not prime Robert Whitaker, but he's a big dude too. And for Draicus Du Plessis to throw him the way he did, just ragdoll him, is kind of like a test to strength. Like, and I feel like for Sean, his Draicus is a well-rounded fighter, but he's got like an awkward stand-up. Like it's his timing is weird, and I feel like that may throw Sean off because it's just weird. It's an awkward style.
Yeah, and like he'll throw weird, but as soon as you throw it like to him, it's like he'll like do a little shoulder roll and like kind of run away. That's why I said like he doesn't get passive, but like he's very protective of like I can't overextend. I can't get
For
touched by
sure.
this because he's gonna knock me out. Like he's very. I feel like he's just very smart on like how he fights, and that is also why he finishes his fights and he's 20-2.
For sure. Now I will say Sean's cardio is pretty good. And I know Drakus got that nose surgery, but them championship rounds, if he was gassed at the third round,
It's different, bro. My dog can breathe.
but 4 and 5, man, that shit's a
Imagine
different
him
game.
doing that when he couldn't breathe, and now that he can breathe, bro.
We'll see. I mean, we'll definitely see. I feel like if Sean can tire him out in the 5th round, he can probably take it. But I got Draicus Du Plessis winning this. I feel like he's just got more ways to win.
I don't think Sean is a very good fighter. That's just me. I feel like he doesn't have a whole lot of bag of tricks. The only reason he beat Izzy is because of that one punch where Izzy got stubbled. If you watch that fight was super boring. And it was just very like punch, punch, punch. Size each other up, punch, punch, punch. Size each other up, punch, punch. Like it wasn't nothing special. He was walking Izzy down and then he had that big old hit against Izzy. Like it's nothing, and that's his fight. Like it's nothing special. Like he doesn't bring anything to the table. That's like when you think of a champion, like you think of somebody who, is well rounded, not even well rounded, but like is exciting to watch. And I feel like he's not that exciting to watch. He's exciting to listen to, but he's not exciting to watch, in my opinion. Um, and I just think that when you're fighting guys who have a bag and can bring more to the table, it's a lot harder to win than it is when you're fighting guys like the other thing is when you fought Izzy isn't really a grappler. He's not a ground fighter. So like,
No.
not that Sean's that like helped to Sean's advantage, but like that's where he wants to be in. I feel like that's where he's most comfortable in when he is standing up. And then he just gained more confidence when he like hit Izzy and dazed him a bit.
Yeah, when he figured out Izzy's game, is Sean's timing threw him off. I mean, it just, but also too, Izzy just looked ill prepared. Like
Yeah.
it didn't look like the Israel
Yeah.
Adesanya we see, like where he's very technical, precise.
Izzy should have easily pieced him up. He didn't do it. Like Sean did not do anything special in that fight.
No,
Like
but
Izzy
Izzy
should
just
have.
didn't look prepared.
Yeah, Izzy should have easily pieced him up.
Perfect example I can think of is when Amanda Nunes lost to Juliana Pena. That's kind of the similar vibe I was getting.
Yeah.
He just looked out of it. Like his mind wasn't in the cage. It was just
Yeah.
outside of it. And I know he spoke on an interview where he was saying like he never lost hope or he never felt defeated. But after that 3rd round, you could tell Izzy just was like, man, fuck this, like whatever.
Yeah. For a while now, you can go look at our old ones, but I've been saying that Izzy isn't the Izzy he used to be. And I also said when he lost to Alex, he needed to like lose a fight for him to get back to like where he used to be. But he's also they said he's on a return, so we might see him pretty soon. I don't know who he'll fight, but we might see him pretty soon. But I got Draicus on this one. I know they said that, I don't know if you saw, but they shook on that they're gonna fight to the death. I don't know how much that's gonna like play into it, but I feel like you still have to stay within your game plan, and I feel like Draicus's game plan involves takedowns and taking him down.
Yeah, when it comes to getting the belt, and when it comes to like, you can do that if, like, when Kevin Holland and Wonderboy fought, like they shook on it that they were gonna stay standing up, and they did, but it wasn't a title fight. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And those are
But
two
when you're
guys who are like journeyman at the end of their career. It's like whatever, like a win isn't gonna like boost them up like that.
For sure, so I mean, when you're fighting for that strap, dude, fuck all that. Like, get the belt, get the money, get the brand deals. Like, this is your livelihood. This is what you do for a living. Like, yeah, sure,
Hmm.
like you shook on it, fight to the death, but like, nah, get the belt, get your money. Like that's what you're not in there. If you were in there for fun, like, you wouldn't have made it to the UFC. Like,
Yeah.
um,
And then like you see, well, who was actually? Oops. They're both favorites technically. Sean's the more favorite, but they're both favorites technically. Um, but I mean, I don't know. You just see here significant strikes. Like statistically speaking, he's the better striker. He's the more accurate striker as well. Grappler. He's the far better grappler. Maybe, but it's gonna be. It'll be. It'll be interesting. They're even on the weight and the height. Like it's well. I mean, you still compete. Like, is 2 pounds a lot?
I don't think so, dude.
No.
Nah,
So
I
yeah.
don't think so. I mean, I feel like 5 and up it's like, okay. Um, but other than that, man, let's wrap this up. I mean, we want to thank y'all for watching. We hope you come back and watch the other ones. We're gonna keep doing this, like Carlos said. But I feel like we have covered everything we'd like to cover. Do you have any last words to say?
Nah, man. I'm just we're back. UFC's back. We're at the top of the year still, so there wasn't any UFC for a while, but UFC's back.
For
The
sure.
last fight card was amazing. We were supposed to cover that one, but we just didn't have anything. I mean, we didn't have everything that we need to have to do this for y'all in time.
For sure.
So we couldn't do that for y'all. But going forward, we will. But I think this year is going to be a great one. I think this is going to be one of the best UFC years there is to come. And um, also, little bloopers for y'all. This is like take 30 because I kept messing up. Um, and I said on a lot of those other takes that there's a lot of new fighters and young fighters and up and coming fighters that are here, and it's getting exciting because I feel like in the past it was kind of like the champion was a champion, but I feel like we're coming to an age where like anyone can be the champion, and if you slip up one night, that's it, and
Yeah,
it's
I
like
mean,
super exciting.
it's very exciting. I mean, at any point, anyone can have your number now. It's cool to see that, like, it was the Brazilians for the longest time just running the game,
Yeah,
and then it was the Americans for a bit, and then it was the
we lost them again. Get them back. Get them back in. Get them back. Come back. I
it's
got
kind
you.
of
I don't know what happened. We'll figure this out. This is our first time. Give us a little, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a time thing or what it is, but you're back. Sorry. You said it used to be the Brazilians.
it used to be the Brazilians, then the Americans, then the Nigerians. I mean, and now it's kind of all over. It's starting to get all over the place, man. So I feel like that's exciting.
Yeah, very. Yeah, this was fun. Let us know your predictions down below. If you do see this video tonight or before the fight comes out and you have stayed this long, we will have a short coming out. For those of you that do partake in the betting world like us degenerates. So that'll be fun. Um, that'll go out tomorrow before the fights. We are off next week, right? Or the week
Yeah,
after?
next week is the dead week, and
Okay,
then
next week's the dead week, and then it's like 7, 8 weeks straight where it's just nothing but chaos. So we'll be
UFC
here for
fight
y'all
night.
covering it, and all that good stuff. So be on the lookout. Bert, pleasure as always.
As
Thank you for
always,
being
dude.
here. This was fun. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, man, I had a blast. And I just want to say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what type of content you want to see as far as news you would like to see covered, or not just long form, but like short form stuff that's easier to digest, especially for our new fans who are just getting into UFC. Let us know what you would like to know about UFC so we can help and help you digest, because like Carlos was saying earlier, it can seem overwhelming because there's always a fight, but we want to make it easy for you to digest and get into the sport.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's gonna feel good saying this. That'll do it from your boys over here at Double Knockout. It's your boy Los.
Bert,
We'll see y'all guys next time. Peace.
peace.